Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. We both hope you're having a massively wonderful Mother's Day today. We miss seeing you all. Normally at church we would be getting together and having a really special, event service with you guys. Yeah, spoiling you all and being spoiled. But unfortunately, we're still not back at church and still not able to do that. So we just wanted to come today and have a little chat about motherhood and hope that, this really blesses you, what we're going to share.
Yeah.
And I've got a scripture verse actually, and I'll start with that. And it's from Ephesians 6, verse 2-3 from the NIV version. And it says, "Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with a promise, so that it may go well with you and that you may enjoy long life on the earth." So I love that scripture verse. I mean, there's lots about motherhood and mums in the Bible. And, one of the obvious is Proverbs 31, which is about how awesome a mother should be. And I'm like, I don't want you to feel bad if you're like having a crappy day or something. So we went with this one because this was a promise.
Yeah.
And it's a command with a promise that we honor our mums and dads. And I think that's really important as mums ourselves, that not only does that, because we're honoring our mum, does that bless her, but it means that it flows on and then our kids bless us. So,
Absolutely. I remember when, I was a rat bag teenager. I was just a rat bag kid. I was wild and my poor mother had to raise me, right? And I remember Dallas was like a couple of days old. Now Dallas is my firstborn. And I remember just looking at him and just was like so overwhelmed with all this love. People tell you about the love and times that by a billion, right? And I'm looking at him going like, you can never do me no wrong. Like, you are perfect in my eyes. Like, you're going to be the best kid. You're not going to, keep me up at night or anything. And I remember texting my mum and I had tears rolling down my face because I was like, the love I have for Dallas, like, that's who I was to you. And I made your, life hell, and I remember messaging her going, I'm so sorry for being a rat bag. And she's messaging me back laughing, going, it's about time for the apology. But I remember being overwhelmed by that love and that love that my mum had for me. I now understand that love for my son, and it's an uncomprehendable love, isn't it? It's like nobody can prepare or explain the love that you will have, as a mother for your son or daughter. And so shout out to my mum. Happy Mother's Day. I love you. You're the best for raising me and keeping me alive for this long. I love you. Yeah.
But, and Kirsty, you're obviously married to my eldest child.
Yes.
So we're rellies.
I know. Happy Mother's Day.
So I was thinking about, the joys, the ups and downs of motherhood, and even what you're saying, having this revelation when you become a mother of yourself of, oh my gosh, look what I put my parents through, because all of a sudden I'm responsible for this human being to raise them and, to instill great things into their life. But it is a journey. Motherhood is such a journey. And Kirsty's married to Sam, who's my eldest son. I've got 5 other children after that, and 5 of them that all still live at home. No one is in a rush to leave the nest. Apparently, they've got it too good at mum and dad. So that is, they do.
They do.
But it's just been a crazy, crazy journey, motherhood. And I look back at it and I think there are some years I just think, I don't know how I survived that. I honestly don't know how I survived. But we do. We're resilient things. Yeah. And, even now, I'm looking at, I was talking to Kirsty just before we started videoing this about my day yesterday and how I'm homeschooling a year 6 child at the moment at my house, and it's not fun. No. It is not fun. So all of a sudden I had to take on another hat as teacher, educator. Always been a teacher, but an educator of my child. And it's like we have to be adaptable, and we have to be able to roll with the punches, because our kids never ever are predictable and never do what we think they're going to do. And I always laugh because when obviously Kirsty's son Dallas is my grandson, so when he does all these really naughty things, I just laugh because I just think, you know what? I had 6 of those.
Yes.
And I'm still in the middle of that.
I have
and
your offspring,
you
so
do.
you need to give me
You have
some
no
wisdom.
hope. No
you need to give me
hope.
some wisdom. How do I raise naughty little Minturns?
Buckle up.
And then
Buckle up.
And I'm having another boy, so I've got 2 Minturns.
It's the buckle up situation. So I just wanted to really encourage all the mums today, because there was seasons in my life where I actually thought that I don't know how I'm going to survive this. And I remember even Sam, your husband, when he was about 13, we actually got coached on how to raise this child, because this child was out of control. Okay, but I wanted to encourage you that it's all seasonal.
Yeah.
It's, it can't, you come out the end.
Absolutely.
There might be times, Jonas, my 4th one, oh my gosh, at the age of 3, I thought I had a psychopath on my hands, because his child was so destructive. He destroyed everything he touched. He cut things to pieces. He just was this child that was out of control. And I thought, what am I raising here? But it's all seasonal.
Yeah.
And I love it. I think I always say there's a time period. 15 I always found was a really interesting age. But there's a time period from about 2 to about 18 that you really got to buckle up. I know. And then it's like, if you instill the right things into their life,
absolutely.
if you give them the best foundation,
absolutely,
then once they're 18, once they get to that adult stage, then
they're prepared.
you find like you've sown the right seeds. You've got to let them go and do what they need to do, but you've done the right thing by them. So you've got a fair bit of journey yet.
Yay.
Yes, because your youngest is only 2.
I know, he turns 2 tomorrow, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So, and I think Samuel and I have decided to write a letter to our kids every year, just as something cute. And I remember I was writing Dallas his letter, and the first thing I wrote was, I was like, it has been different raising you from 0 to 1, from 1 to 2. Just the change in his personality and who he is. And I think it's so true what you say. Like, just when you think you're killing it, just when you think you've got mum life down pat, you've got it all sorted, they go and change.
Yeah.
Or they go and learn something new. And you're like, how the heck do you know how to open up the front door, get on your bike and go on the road? Like, please tell me. Like, this is like, it's been amazing to watch Dallas grow and to watch his little personality develop. But let me tell you, Mama's tired.
I know. And you know what's going to be really interesting in this is having 6 children.
Yeah.
Their personalities are all completely different. So they will do you think you've got it down and handled with one? And then the next one will come along and just throw that book out the window and do their own thing. So I think mums are awesome. Yeah,
mums are
and
queens.
we're adaptable.
We're the queens.
We are adaptable creatures, and we have to be.
Absolutely.
And it's been my greatest joy to be a mum, and it's been my greatest achievement. And I've done some pretty incredible things with my life, and I love the direction that God's taken me in my life, and how He's expanded my family and all of that. And my greatest joy is my family.
Absolutely.
And I always think, when people say to me, what's the best thing you've done? What's the greatest thing you've done? To me, it's been giving birth and raising my kids, and seeing the incredible people that they are and seeing their hearts for people and how they love people. And it just brings me great joy.
Absolutely.
And that's the great thing about being a mum is if you instill the right things into your children, if you instill the right foundations, if you instill godly foundations, the joy when you see some of the little victories far outweighs all the yucky stuff.
And I think we know it takes a village to raise a child. It does take a village. And I think when my sister gave birth to her first child, I just immediately felt in my spirit that I was his mum too. Like, I think, being an auntie and a grandmother, and even I just praise Dallas's daycare teachers, educators. There's plenty of women, that surround us, that help us raise our children. And I think, as a mum, we get praised, and, spiritual mums in the church. I've got gorgeous spiritual mums, and there's, youth pastors who are young and they don't have kids, but, you're raising, raising young teenagers, and you have that responsibility. And there's just so many roles a woman takes on, even without a child. Do you know what I mean? You don't necessarily have to birth a child to be a mum, you know, or
I love how you just
Yeah.
brought up the fact that you've got spiritual mums.
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of us too, some of us I was really, really fortunate that I have incredible parents and
Yeah.
I've had an incredible legacy
Yeah.
in my family, my grandmother and aunts and all of that, who were all absolute,
Yeah.
you know, loved God and raised their family. But I also know that I'm a spiritual mum to lots of girls and lots of women who haven't had the opportunity to
Yeah.
be raised in a really fantastic family environment.
Yeah.
And I think that that's the wonderful thing about loving God
Yeah.
and doing generations with people.
Absolutely.
As mums, we're not just isolated to our immediate, you know, natural
yeah,
family. We
absolutely.
can be mums to
The
the whole lot,
thousands.
you know, to those that have not been as fortunate to have maybe healthy family
Yeah,
relationships and that. So I
exactly.
just think all round, you know, we just don't let your circumstances dictate
Absolutely.
what sort of mum you are or what sort of upbringing you've had, because you can be someone else's mum
Absolutely.
that they haven't had, you know, growing up
Absolutely.
in their lives. So we just want to honour you guys today
Yes, we do.
and say, you know, happy Mum's Day. We
Yes.
miss you all.
Yes, we do.
And I really miss hanging out with my mum because I've hardly seen her much
Yeah.
over this time. But
Yeah.
you know, we just, whatever you're doing today and whatever you find yourself doing today, I really pray that it's a really
Yes,
fantastic
beautiful.
time. And let's
Yep.
celebrate and honour you, even though we all deserve it every day.
Absolutely.
Let's just honour and celebrate one day of
Absolutely.
the year. And I hope you're spoilt.
Yes.
And happy Mum's
Yes.
Day, Kirst.
Yes.
Yes.
Woohoo.
And happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Everybody.
Love you all, miss you all.
Mwah.
Okay, bye.